everyone! In today's video, I'm going to show you a fast way to wrap your gift using the diagonal wrapping method. This method is also great when you're trying to conserve paper, or maybe you've already cut your paper but it's just a little bit too short, but you want to try to salvage it. This method is great for that as well. As a bonus, I'm also going to show you how to create this really cute bow. But before we get into the video, for those of you that are new to my channel, hi, my name is Catherine, and I absolutely love decorating for the holidays. And for me, my gift wrap is part of my holiday decor. As a matter of fact, for each of the trees I put up, I already have presents, empty boxes, wrapped in coordinated wrapping paper. So as soon as the tree goes up, the presents go under the tree. But I'm really curious to know what kind of people are watching this video. Leave me a comment and let me know, do you get your holiday shopping and gift wrap done early so you can enjoy the presents under the tree? Or maybe do you wait a little bit more last minute? But now let's go ahead and get started with the supplies that we're going to use. The first one is obvious, and that is the present itself, but I do recommend that if it's not already in a box, that you put it in a gift box with nice crisp edges. That's just going to make it easier to wrap. Next up is the wrapping paper, and I always like to recommend something with a nice medium weight that doesn't have a lot of thick embellishments and things on it, so that way it's a lot easier to fold. Next up is something with which to cut the paper, and here we have a couple of options. The most obvious one, of course, are scissors, but I recommend you have a dedicated pair of scissors for gift wrapping. Don't just grab the junk drawer scissors if you can help it. Who knows what those are used on, and they may not be very sharp. As a bonus, you can also use a cutter that's dedicated for gift wrap, such as this one. This makes cutting a long swath of gift wrap a cinch. We'll also need some tape to secure the gift wrap to the present. I like to use two different types of tape. The first is a single-sided tape that I can use where the tape will be covered up by paper. And then just to be a little bit extra, I also like to use double-sided tape anywhere where otherwise the tape might be seen. And last is whatever's going to be used to embellish the present. For the bow I'm going to make today, I need a nice wired ribbon, and so this is the one that I'm going to use. The first step is going to be to cut the paper to the size we need, and we're going to figure this out a little bit differently than, say, you would with the traditional wrapping method. So we're going to take the wrapping paper, go ahead and roll it out a little bit, and then I'm going to take my present and I'm actually going to pivot it so it's laying diagonally on the paper. And then basically what I need to do is figure out how much paper I need so that when I pull it up, I have enough to cover each of the corners on the side of the present that is facing up. So I'm looking good on this side, so I'm just going to kind of pull that up, and I've just kind of got that spot. So to help me cut this, because I have this table with this nice seam, I'm going to line up the line where I want to cut the wrapping paper so that I can cut along that to make sure I get a nice straight line. Also to help, something I've discovered through the years is it's just really helpful to have something nice and heavy on the loose ends of the paper so that it doesn't accidentally move as you're trying to cut that nice sharp line. Now I'm going to take my little paper cutter and zip this right down. And I just stand for better leverage. You absolutely don't have to do that. So it is important when wrapping with the diagonal method to try to avoid a lot of excess paper because that's going to make it harder to fold. So I've got the width pretty well figured out, but I do need to figure out the length. So for this, once again, I'm going to position my present how I think I'm going to wrap it. And so once again, I'm making sure that I've got enough to come up over two of those corners. But now I need to figure out where to cut it over here. So I'm going to lift the paper up, making sure that I get enough to cover this edge, eyeballing where that's at. And once again, I'm going to take my cutter and zip right along. And now I still have some excess wrapping paper that I can use for a smaller project later. And just to illustrate the point that you don't need as much wrapping paper with the diagonal method, if I have the box centered and were to try to wrap it the traditional way, you will notice that I don't have enough wrapping paper to go all the way around the box, but that's not going to be a problem for this method. So once again, to get started wrapping, I want to make sure that I turn the present diagonally on the wrapping paper, making sure that as I pull up each end that it is able to cover the top corner on each side of the box. And that should be good. Also, I want to think about the last corner that I end up folding over, how that's going to lay. And I want to make sure that that's going to wind up at the spot that I want. And so if I do it about here and I leave this side for last, it'll wind up about here on the present. And I like how well that is centered. So I'm going to start with the corner of the wrapping paper opposite of the one that I just figured out what the final placement would look like. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to bring that up over the gift. And then I'm going to take a piece of my single-sided tape, and I just need a small piece for this, and I'm going to tape that to the box. You can actually do this method without taping until the end, but that's really hard to do until you get pretty good at it. So I recommend using tape until you've mastered the technique. Now that we have the first corner of the wrapping paper affixed to the box, we're going to work on the two adjacent to that. I'm going to reposition the box a little bit. And I'm going to take one of the edges and I'm just going to kind of create that crease because this is going to come up over this way and I want that to lay pretty horizontal to the edge of the present. So I've created that crease, then I'm just going to kind of pinch the edge at the top a little bit so that as I start to pull from this corner up, I'm basically kind of creating a nice line right at that edge that I'm going to be able to then pull up and over on top of the box. Once I have this pulled nice and tight to where I want it, I'm going to take another piece of my single-sided tape and tape this to the box. This will get covered up here in just a moment. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Create a bit of that crease. Pinch the piece at the top so that as I start to pull this up, and I can kind of cheat it and start to pull it out if it looks like it's not directly lining up, that it lines up right with the edge of that box. And then once again, I'm going to take a piece of single-sided tape because it will get covered up. So here's how we're looking so far. It almost looks a little bit like we're creating an envelope, and I guess you could say that we are. But here is where it gets a little bit tricky until you develop the finger dexterity to do this quickly. So basically, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other corners, but we're going to need to kind of do this at the same time as we pull this last corner up and over the box. So I'm going to make sure that I've got those creases that will help determine where that rolls over on the edge. I'm going to kind of pinch that paper in a little bit at the top so then I can start to pull up, making sure that it's lining up with the edges. Once I get up over the top, I'll be able to secure it down. So for this, I'm going to use my double-sided tape because I don't want this tape to be seen. And run a couple of pieces along the edge. So now once again, I'm just going to pull it so I can press it down, but I want to make sure that I'm getting any lumps, bumps, wrinkles out, that it's going to pull tight. So there we go. That's what the underneath of the present now looks like. And it really wasn't too hard, especially after you try it a few times and get a little practice with it. But now let's work on the bow. So once again, for this, I am going to use a wired ribbon. And because of the size of the present, this is a pretty thin ribbon. To get started, I'm going to take my ribbon and wrap it around the box, and then I'm going to start to tie a knot, but I'm only going to do kind of that first cross. And I want to leave about 3-inch tails on each side. It doesn't have to be exact or anything, but here's where I'm going to use my scissors. And once again, this is a nice sharp pair of scissors. I'm going to cut the other end to be about the same length as the free end. And then I'm just going to kind of pull that, and since it's wired, it should stay relatively like that. I'm just going to set that to the side for now. Now is the little bit tedious part, but it is worth it in the end, and it is absolutely not hard. I'm going to create 8 6-inch cuts of each of the ribbon. And when I say 6 inches, That's an estimate. I'm not actually going to measure. I'm just going to speed through repeating this using this as my template. Now that I have each of my 6-inch strips cut, I'm going to fishtail each end of each strip. To create a fishtail, you're going to want to fold the ribbon in half, like so, and then take your scissors and starting at the outside edge, you're going to cut up at about a 45-degree up to the middle of the ribbon, so that when you open it, you have this fishtail. And once again, I'm just going to repeat this 15 more times. So this is why it is a little bit tedious, but it's definitely not hard. Now I'm going to take each of these strips and basically lay them on top of one another. And if I have any that when I cut ended up just a little bit longer or shorter than the rest, I will just kind of put those in order so that the longest ones are on the bottom and the shortest ones are on the top. These are all turning out pretty even, so not really worrying about that. Now I'm going to attach this to the present by basically tying these off in the middle of the strips. So that's the middle. Now I'm going to take those 2 pieces of ribbon from around the box and I'm going to tie that around those strips, pulling really tight. And if you have a good wired ribbon, a lot of times you only need to do it that one time. You don't have to tie it again to keep it secure. But I still have these raw edges, so I'm just going to trim a quick fishtail on each of these ends as well. And now for where the magic of this bow really happens. So I'm going to take one side of the knot and I'm going to go to the underneath and I'm going to find the bottom 2 and I'm going to pull them in opposite directions from one another. And I'm going to take the next 2 and I'm going to do the same thing, pulling in the same direction as I did earlier. And I'm going to keep doing that up to the top. And then I'll have the original piece just kind of at the top. And I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to do the same thing. And the purpose for this is really just to spread the ribbons out. You don't have to be like super precise here. It's just to make sure that we have ribbon kind of covering all the way around. So now we're just gonna take each of the sides of the ribbon and we're just gonna scrunch them a little bit. And once again, this is why it's really important to have that wired ribbon. That will allow the scrunching to hold in place. And you can keep scrunching till you get the desired look. All right, and that's how the bow looks. Doesn't it just make a perfect topper to this already beautiful present? So there you have the diagonal wrapping method, plus how to make a really cool new bow. But I'm really curious to know, are there any other wrapping things that you'd like to learn? Leave me a comment and let me know what those are, and I just might make that my next wrapping video. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, or at least found it useful. If so, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're not already. Both of those things are so helpful to me here on YouTube because it tells them that you're enjoying the video and they should help promote it for others to discover as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a very merry holiday season, and until next time, bye.